Jeff, I'm really worried.
Well, tell me what you're worried about.
I've been having all these dreams and it's driving me crazy.
Well, tell me about it.
These nightmares, it says I'm never going to go on a Jeep ride again.
Well, let's go on a Jeep ride.
We can really do that?
Yes, let's
You gonna
do
let it done?
Yeah.
Let's get it done.
Let's do it.
Thank you so much, man.
All right, we have the heater box. Got to go back on. Goes right here. Well, I want to tell a little story about the heater box. Before I pulled it off, I did not know it was full of a huge rat nest. Didn't know. But we vacuumed it all out, cleaned it, painted it, ready to put it back on.
Hang on a second. So you just mentioned something. Kind of make some eye contact with me. This is going to be a little story time here for a second. Do you remember when I had my full-on war with rats?
Where was that?
Okay, so at my house, JT.
Which house?
The house I live in.
Now.
Yes, the
Okay.
current one. That's
Yep,
'cause
I know-
said
I know-
live.
I know where you
didn't say
live.
lived in. I said I live in.
Central Florida.
Okay, this is going to take a long time. You keep interrupting.
Okay.
So, for those that don't know, Casey, come on over here. Casey, get in the frame over there. Let's make you part of this little conversation. You need to hear this story.
I don't want to know nothing about no rat.
It's a pretty interesting story, I have to tell you, about war and peace.
I'm out here doing
And at the
set
end of the
security.
day, there was no peace. Okay, so I have a detached garage at my house. My garage is probably 30 feet, roughly 30, 40 feet away from the house, okay? And so there used to be like 30 acres of dense wooded forest and everything right beside my house, and they're tearing it all down right now because they're putting in houses. So all of a sudden when that started, maybe about 6 to 9 months ago, all of a sudden in my garage, I'm going in there, my daughter and my kid's going out to get a soda out of the refrigerator or something like that, and all you hear is just scurrying everywhere. I mean, like, Dad, you got to go check this out. So I go out there. And I catch it myself. I go in there and I'm seeing like 15 rats, not mice, rats, okay? Some baby rats I thought were mice for a New York minute, but they were baby rats. They grew up into big teeth and gnarly stuff. So all of a sudden I'm trying to I gotta kill all these guys. They got to go. They're not chilling out in my house no more. So anyway, I start out with some mouse traps, right? That's what people do, mouse trap. Nothing. I'd find them snapped, cheese gone, whatever, peanut butter, whatever I put on it, gone, 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 gone. So then I put me a security camera up in my garage, pointed right there. Man, I'm in serious security. Wi-Fi whole 9 yards in my detached garage because I'm going to catch these bad boys. All of a sudden, I'd get this alarm signal on my phone that says there's activity in the garage. I pull it up, and I'm watching all these mice just scurrying around everywhere. Some of them were even walking up across the thing to the garage door opener where I had it. That's where I had the camera, and they're like sniffing all over the camera. I couldn't believe it, man. I can't kill these things. So then I hear about this walking the plank. This thing, that's the way to kill mice. You got to make them walk the plank.
A bucket.
So they sell this little contraption, all right? You sit it on top of a 5-gallon bucket. You fill it about half full of water, right? At the end of that plank, you put a piece of cheese or something, right? So the mouse, and you got to build your little ledge so the mouse can walk up to get to the top of the bucket. Walk up there, then walks out on the plank to get the cheese, falls in the water bucket, and drowns. That's how you do it. It worked a total one time. One time. Why? Because that's designed for mice, not rats, not big uns. The big uns figured out as soon as they started to erupt, they just jumped over and jumped off of it, right? So these things were kicking my butt. There were a point where I had these little holes cut in the ceiling to the garage because I stored all my leftover boxes from all my used gear up in the attic up there. And now I got an infestation in my garage attic. Okay, this is bad. This is like 30, 40 rats, all right? So anyway, I finally break down. I buy these Mac Daddy's big old mouse trap, like that big. For those of you who can't see me, I'm talking probably 4 inches wide by 6 inches long. That thing will snap the head off your mama if you're not watching out. What do you think happened after that? Snap, 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 gone, bye, bye. They say we're not messing with Eugene no more. You know how long it took me to get from the starting point to the winning of that battle? Like 3 months, man, every day, obsessed with killing those little critters. And if you happen to be a fan of mice and rats, this is not the time to call PETA, because I'm going to tell you, look at me, I'm worked up right now. It's got me tore up. I don't want to go through that again. I got PTSD.
I was gonna say you killing the rats took about as long as the story, right?
You don't got pit bulls.
Yeah. Well,
All right,
I wish I had
here,
that option.
here,
I'm allergic to cats. I was going to go get me a kitty cat.
I got a story for you.
But these rats would have killed that kitty cat.
I got a story for you. Up at my property in the woods, I bought some. I got rats. I don't know if I have any.
You got everything up there. That's out of the wide open wildness.
But anyway, I bought some stuff called Just One Bite.
I thought it was just one more.
No, Just One Bite.
Just
Wait a minute. I
Just one
saw a box of that sitting on my kitchen counter and it had Barry written on
Don't
that my
eat it.
wife had bought for me. So should I really be taking a bite out of that thing?
No. So I put some out, and before you know it, we're smelling dead rats.
Oh,
And
Fragrance, baby.
Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. So
the true story now.
Mary,
Make you want to get something to eat?
Mary is under the camper.
Wait a minute. For those of you who don't know out there, Mary is one of JT's dogs. Really
That's
precious
right.
little dog. We like Mary.
She's under the camper poking
To
at
clarify.
something. And me and Casey are going, guys, what's that? Ugh, something's bad. And I say, look under there. Casey's poking it. Or Casey. Mary's poking at something. So I went and got a shovel. And I scooped it up. And it was on the shovel like, it was in horrible shape.
Yeah.
Casey goes, bah, 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 bah. And he takes off
Does it
running.
smell a little rough for you, Casey?
And I'm like,
It's a little jellied up.
yeah.
Little jellied up on a
so
shovel.
Casey says, why don't you put it in the fire? I said, that's a great idea. He said, I was joking. I said, no.
Get rid of it quick.
If I throw it in the woods,
It's
the
gonna
dogs
keep
are going to be
stinking.
over poking at it again and
Absolutely,
stink
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
So I went and put it in the
Position.
fire, and I watched it for a little while, and quick as the fire was,
Wait, I know what you did. I know what you went and got a skewer, didn't you?
quick
You
as
put
the
that thing on the skewer, you had it
fire
for
was,
lunch, huh?
quick as the
Wasn't
fire
done
was
yet.
coming out of its eyes, I scooped it back up, and I cooked the other side.
Sunny side up or over easy,
That
over
is a-
demonized.
That is a true story. Casey running off.
And you're sticking to it.
He didn't puke, but
Yeah, I
the
did.
Blah, blah,
No,
blah,
I gagged. I threw up.
Well, that reminds me, I'll tell this story for the sake of the camera right now. I already told this one to you. So I was watching TikTok maybe a couple months ago, and that's when everybody was going and stealing Trump signs out of everybody's yard. Get that bee floating around. You might want to sting that thing. You know, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, something like that. Anyway, I digress. So this guy, he developed this little like what do you call them? Where they shoot those little pellets out of the gun? Not a pellet, like plastic, airsoft kind of thing, right? And so people, he have cameras out on his yard for all of his Trump signs, and somebody come running in the yard, he goes, and just tear them up with these little airsoft things.
Light them up.
Those fucking things hurt. I'm telling you, they sting in.
Yeah.
And so do you think that deterred people from taking those signs?
No.
No, they took their pain and their gain and they kept going. So what'd he do? He found a dead skunk. So then he got a 5-gallon bucket. He put that dead skunk in that bucket, then filled it with slimy water and let it sit for 4 or 5 days. Then covered it up and connected a pump to it to an irrigation thing that he put right by the signs. So the minute they went and took his signs, he flipped the switch. Shit spitting
Yeah,
out of my
got
mouth as
it,
I'm
yeah.
doing it. Covering these people with all this skunk crap, stinking forever. That was classic,
That's
baby.
great stuff.
That's awesome,
That's
baby.
what they
Hey,
need.
Hey, you know what that is?
That's
Redneck, baby.
All right, can we go back to where we were?
All right.
We got to put this thing on.
Let's get to it.
That's part of the BS section.
Well, you guys here for the thing, so we want to put this on pause for a second.
Where? Who?
It's
Brian's
the
here?
Redneck Willys Jeep show there, Brian, in case you didn't know.
That's my son.
Oh, hell, that ain't Brian. You don't have glasses on. Hell with you. Get pizza. Let's get to work.
All right, yeah, let's put it back. Are you ready?
I'm sorry, what are we doing?
We're putting this on.
Oh, first of all, you can explain what that is.
I already did. It's the heater box.
I'm not so sure you did do
There
that,
is a
so let's
hose.
act like you didn't.
There's a hose that goes from here to the grill to take fresh air in, and this has your heater core in it. See right there, your heater core, hot water in, got a fan in there.
So it's a hot tub?
It is a heater core for heating water.
I can't fit in that hot tub. I like hot tubs a
Heater
lot, but
for
I can't fit
inside
in there.
the Jeep. So we're gonna put this thing together because there's a big hole there, and I don't like it.
I bet you didn't get your bolts and nuts ready, did you?
What are you talking about?
Hey.
What are you talking about? See, I can put that one on there and leave it for a second.
So you got a hose coming from the radiator, right? Is that what I'm understanding? So it's taking some heat off of that radiator, but doesn't the radiator have the opposite effect?
Well,
I
no,
thought
no.
the
What
radiator
happens
cooled
is
things down.
What happens is the water goes in the motor. The motor is hot.
Caliente, baby.
The water comes out of the motor into the heater, and then back out into the motor.
You know how hot that water is? I know. Roughly around 172, because if I remember right, when you put that thermostat in there, that's what it was rated at.
Caliente.
See, I pay attention. Okay, so we got the hot water going through the engine. Ultimately goes through the radiator, right?
Well, do you know what a radiator does?
It circles.
Do you know what the thermostat does?
It keeps water going through the engine.
Now, here's what happens. You have cold water in the radiator, hot water in the motor.
If there's cold water in the radiator, when you take the cap off, why do you smoke all that stuff up then?
When your motor gets up to temperature, 175 degrees, the
Okay,
thermostat,
I'm following.
it opens, it sends the hot water into the radiator, cold water from the radiator into the motor, thermostat closes.
Okay.
When the thermostat gets up, when the water in the motor gets up to 175 again, does it again. And it keeps doing it over and over and over.
Flow like a river, baby.
That's right.
You still ain't explained where that comes from. The radiator goes in that thing right there.
Well, the water in the radiator has to cool. That's why you got the fan.
I'm talking about the air. Where does the air come from? You said that connected up the radiator. Did I
No,
misunderstand
you misunderstood.
Okay, so
everybody at home
there's
heard
a lot
me.
of people that's stupid out there like me. So why don't you help
This
those people out
hose
too?
goes to the grill. And
I told
pressure-
you it went to the grill.
I know.
Okay, all right.
But anyway, I got to
You're
keep
making
going
this
on.
complicated,
I got to
G-Money.
keep getting her done over
I
here.
thought you said that was only 4 bolts. It's just going to take you a second. We've been at
It
this
was.
for 30 minutes.
It was, but I got to stop and explain everything.
Wow, this battery's almost dead on this GoPro too.
Well, there's an oven up there. Get it? Change it out.
You just try to take me off camera. That's all you're trying to do.
No, I'm not. Change it out.
We know that you're jealous of my popularity on this show because everybody loves me. Wait, they don't even know who I am. Anyway, they kind of like you too.
Everybody tells me they love Pappy.
Who's everybody? You only talking to my son, Noah. Hey, I got a question for you.
Yeah, talk to me.
What is the torque specifications on that?
There's
Huh?
not.
What is this torque? You gonna know that? Gonna pull up your handy little manual?
Not on this. There is no torque
So
specification.
you're just gonna tighten them however you want?
That's right.
Man, you just get to make all the decisions, don't you?
When it comes to little stuff like this, yeah. Isn't that pretty? The white firewall and the black.
I'm just curious if you got a big enough extension on this thing. That's all I was thinking. You know, it's like you could be drilling that thing in from Fort Knox, for goodness sakes.
Well, I needed something where I could get in there.
Well, you in there, but you're sitting on the other state trying to screw it.
There we go. Isn't that a pretty heater box?
I like it. I like it a lot, as a matter of fact.
All right.
So it's going to keep you warm?
You know what we're going to... It will.
All right. Let's do it.
You know what we're going to do next?
Where's the AC?
There is none on this video.
It's called open the doors and windows and let it
That's
flow,
right.
baby.
That's right. Jeep don't have no top. You can take that hard top off and ride around.
That's what we do if we had it.